I love this song. It took me forever to learn it, but I do have it now, and I'm going to share it with you here on Dulcimerica. My name is Futch, everybody. Welcome to the program. This song is called Old Billy Hell, and it is crooked as all get out. And I learned it at the date of this recording. I learned it about a couple of weeks ago. On the recommendation of the great Don Petty from North Carolina. I love crooked tunes, and if you're not sure what that is, a crooked tune is a song that has got uneven rhythmic measures. Maybe the song's in 4/4 time, and there's a measure of 2/4 thrown in there. Or maybe there's a measure of 6/4 thrown in there in the case of this piece, Old Billy Hell. And I've only learned a couple of crooked tunes. One of them's The Old Black Cat Couldn't Catch a Rat, and another one is a tune called Newcastle, written by Henry Reed, that many people know as Texas. These are great fun tunes, and Old Billy Hell is the latest one. And I was wondering about crooked tunes that I could pick up, and I asked Don, what's one of your favorite crooked tunes? He said Old Billy Hell. Old Billy Hell is a euphemism for the devil himself, as in the phrase, I'm gonna get drunker than Old Billy Hell. And it's a great tune. It's really off kilter, as you can tell, specifically because of that measure, two measures actually, of 6/4. If you would like the tablature for Old Billy Hell to go along with this episode, you can go to this link right down here on Patreon's open house, download the tablature and follow along. But I will be teaching this by ear right now for those of you who simply just want to get into it and get on with it. So, why don't we start off, first of all, with the melody by itself, so you can hear that melody and understand how it goes, how it flows, and then we can add the chords and stuff, which there really aren't a lot of chords to speak of. It really is just about providing the drone behind the melody. So I'm going to play the melody, and then I'll walk you through the melody. So it goes like this. Okay, so that's the A part and the B part and the melody for Old Billy Hell. So, first of all, I'm going to walk you through the A part, and I'm going to show you the fingerings that I'm using. Again, I've only been playing this song for 2 weeks. These fingerings may change as I evolve with the tune and figure out other things, but I spent a lot of time messing around with different finger orientation, and I've always loved to use 2 fingers and a thumb. So I'm starting off with the first note, which is here at the 5th fret. That is our B, and we're going to walk up 5, 6, 7. So your 2 fingers and the thumb will take care of that for you. Going to hit the 7 twice, and then we're going to go right back to the 5th fret. At this point, the melody will dip down to the 4th fret, come back up to the 5th, right up to the 6th. So once again, your 2 fingers and the thumb are serving you well. But remember, I moved this entire orientation down in order to start with the 4th fret. So right here at this point, I'm going to prepare myself to take the index finger and move it down here, and then lead off with the middle finger and walk up. Okay, I'll do that again. 5, 6, 7, 7, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the first sequence, the first thing you're going to handle here in the A section. I'll do that again. Notice I left those fingers down just by habit instead of picking them up like that. Okay, now I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. So we're going to go 5, 6, 7, 7, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 4. Then we're going to go 5 on the middle string. I'm using my index finger for this, and then open melody. I'll do that again. Notice leading off from the 4 with the middle finger and the index finger going to the middle string is just a perfect fit. My fingers are exactly where they need to be in order to get those notes. I'll do that one more time. From here, 2 fingers and the thumb will lead up from 4, 4, 5, 6, 6, 4, 6, and then a recurring phrase that happens in this piece, 5, 0, 4, middle 5, open melody. I call that the Mickey Mouse fill-in because it's M-O-M-O-U-S-E. And that pops up a lot in this piece. What I ended up doing, because my fingers kept wanting to do something else, I played that phrase over and over again so that muscle memory could start to reside in these fingers. So maybe take a few moments and just do this a few times around. Believe me, you will thank me later because I was tripping all over my fingers on this one. Okay, so let's add everything together in context. Okay, that's the first time through the A part. Now we repeat the A part. Now, what is different about the second time through the A part is that right after we get to that last little phrase, we're going to run into a push rhythm. A push rhythm is a downbeat that is early. So instead of coming on beat 1, it happens on 4 or even the end of 4. In this case, it actually happens in 4. And our tune, Old Billy Hell, is in 2/4 time, which means we've got 2 beats per measure and the quarter note gets the beat. Now, some people will actually write this tune out with different types of time signatures, but I took this from a recording at the Digital Library of Appalachia, and it was from the original fiddle player that this tune was caught from back in the day. So based on that, I'm going with the suggestion that it's a 2/4 tune, and so the quarter note gets the beat, 2 notes per measure, and then there are 2 measures of 6/4, and we will deal with those in just a little bit. So it's going to be moving along pretty quickly, and that's why I wanted to slow it down to show you exactly what's going on here. So the push rhythm that we're talking about, instead of being on the downbeat of a 2/4 measure, it's actually going to come on beat number 2 of the previous measure. It's going to be a quarter note that is then tied to the downbeat quarter note in the following measure, which means, since it's tied, that we're holding that note for 2 beats. That provides a bit of a rhythmic shelf, and that's going to be one of the tricks for you getting used to playing this tune, is getting used to landing on that shelf, being patient, waiting for the whole 2 beats, and then moving forward through the rest of the piece. This happens at the beginning of the B section. It also happens right after the first measure of 6/4 that leads back into a repeat of the B section. So I'll try and slow this way down for you and show you how to count that out. So here's the A section. Repeat. One, 2. And that is our leading into the B section. So notice when I went up there, that is a quarter note right there. 1, 1, 2. So after you hit this last note here, that last note open melody is a quarter note. That is the first quarter note of that particular measure. The second quarter note of that particular measure is at the 7th fret. And it's starting on the 2. It's starting on the 2, and it's lasting for 2 beats, which means it's not only going to be happening, you're going to hit that note on the second beat of that measure, but you're going to hold it, and you're not going to hit a downbeat on the next measure. It's going to feel really strange. So you're going to hit it for 2. 1, 2. Then you begin to do the B part. I'll play that one more time, and then I'll continue on into the B section. It goes like this. Tune. I'm going to stop there because things are going to get very complex here in a second. So our first note is 7. We're going to hold it for 2 notes. 1, 2, then 8, 10, 11. Notice that I am anchoring everything that's happening here in the B section with my middle finger and my index finger. And then the thumb is going to take care of everything above that. After, once again, struggling with this for a very long time, I realized that being consistent, holding those fingers down, never picking them up, and letting the thumb carry all this up here has worked on me conquering the B part. So we're going 7 for 2 beats, 8, 10, 11, 11 again, then come down from your 7, or up from your 7, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. We're going to hold that 12 for 2 beats. Some of the recordings I saw on YouTube, people played the 12 twice, just like we played the 11 twice. But in the original recording, I believe, and some of the other ones, the 12 is hit once, maybe as a balance, twice and then once. So if you do hit the 12 twice, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world, but it's still something that you should think about as far as trying to keep the tune as authentic as possible. Coming again from 7, hold twice, 8, 10, 11, 11, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12 once. You hold it for 2 beats. Then from 12, we come down, 12, 11, 10, 8, 11, 10. You can maybe start to see why I'm keeping these fingers down there and not picking them up off the strings, because I'm coming back to them after going up in here into the second octave stratosphere. So let me play the B part up to that point, and then we'll unleash the Kraken and deal with this 6/4 stuff. So again from 7, hit it once for 2 beats. Okay, that is the beginning of the B part. I'm going to do it one more time and then we'll tackle the 6/4. And I almost went into the 6/4. Okay, so there is the beginning of the B part. Here comes the 6/4. First, let's go ahead and count the notes. Let's talk about what the notes are first. We're going 8, 10, 8, 7, and then M-O-U-S-E. M-O-U-S-E. 8, 10, 8, 7, 5, 0, 4, middle 5, open. So again, a measure of 6/4 is going to have 6 beats in the measure. The quarter note gets the beat. So just think of it like a measure of 4/4 that has 2 beats added to it. Once you get past that, it shouldn't be too difficult to kind of figure out how the whole thing flows together. So we are starting from 8. And that's where you land the 7 that comes back into the repeat of the B section. So what we're counting here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And that's how we're connecting back to that. So let's do that one more time here. That last note, by the way, you're going to play that for 2 beats. So 1, and then you're going to hold that for 2 beats. Here's the whole B section right here. I'll do it again. And it might be easier for you to take the whole thing as one large chunk, as opposed to trying to parse out each individual measure. Everybody does things a little bit differently when it comes to memorizing tunes or figuring out tunes for the first time. Me, I like to break them down into little easily digestible nuggets so that you can kind of get your head around them and then put the whole thing together and play it in context. But if it's helping you to see the fretboard or helping you to have me count through the measures, or whether you're going to run screaming for the tablature so you can specifically look at it and read it from there. However you are best served, it'd be great to get everybody playing this tune at the jams because it's a lot of fun. I'll do the B section again, and this time I will go crossing over into the A section. And there you see how to pick it up. 2 8 notes at the end of the measure will be your pickup notes that lead into the piece. A note on the tablature, if I have not corrected it already, is that there are 2 8 notes that begin the piece, your pickup notes. The 2 8 notes at the end of the last measure are basically those same pickup notes. So you don't have to play them over again. You can go right back to measure 1 and play it from there. So let me go ahead and play the melody again all the way through, and then we'll drop the drones in there. Again, we're not doing a whole bunch of chords. In fact, we're just droning along behind the melody on this. But I wanted you to be able to clearly hear what the melody was doing so you could establish that and then add the drones in after the fact. So here it is one more time, all the way through parts A and part B of Old Billy Hell. And that is it. Now we're just going to add the drones in. So capo 3 for the key of G, playing all this stuff right on up here. And all we're going to do is play what we just played on the melody and on the middle string, but now we're going to go ahead and strum all the way across all the strings, just like this. All right, one final element here, and that's just going to be to dress up the rhythm a bit and give it some punch and power and some snap and rhythm and some boogie. Now, if you listened to or saw the most recent Dulcimerica episode, you'll know I talked about putting accents on 2 and 4. And we're talking about 4/4 time in that instance, of course. But basically putting afterbeats into your rhythms to provide a better groove for dancing and celebratory moving. I like that, celebratory moving. Anyway, with 2/4, obviously, we don't have a 3 and 4 beat to work with. But there you're talking about putting accents on 2. 1, 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. The idea here is just to go every other beat. Don't start on the first of those beats. Go with the second beat in, no matter what your time signature is, except for the time signatures are divisible by 3, 3/4, 3/8, 12/8, 6/8. They require a different push and a different placement of your accents to make everything roll fine. But for tunes like this in the Western musical world, going every other is the way to go. When it goes crooked, it's going to go crooked in 6/4 time. So you can still find your footing and throw in the afterbeat on that. And I think you'll be able to feel it out without having to map it out. But I have mapped it out on the music, and you'll be able to see that. So here is Old Billy Hell with accents propelling the rhythm of the piece. Notice right here, I don't bother doing that with the accent. I actually want to use that shelf. I just call it a shelf. It's a rhythmic shelf where everything just sort of changes gear, and you don't do that. It shines a spotlight on the fact that something weird has just happened, and I really like that about crooked tunes. So instead of steamrolling through those, I actually focus on them, and then that also enables me to find my groove and jump right back in with the afterbeats. Here it is from the top again. And there you have it. I gotta say right now, it's my favorite fiddle tune of all time. And that's saying a lot, saying that, Texas, I don't know, I think Texas is probably still my favorite fiddle tune. But I'll be telling you right now, Old Billy Hell is definitely a hot second. This is a great tune. It's a fun tune. And once you just play it over and over again, you'll find that it is actually pretty simple compared to a lot of the crooked tunes that are out there. So I'm hoping you'll learn it. I'm hoping you'll play it in the jams, request it at festivals, and get more people playing it, because I love to hear a whole room full of people playing this. This is really one of the great Kentucky fiddle tunes. So I hope you've enjoyed this little look at Old Billy Hell. And if you enjoy this program, Dulcimerica, or any of my teachings, please consider becoming a patron on Patreon. For $5 a month, you can get everything I've ever produced, plus everything I produce on a weekly basis. My patrons actually help produce this program, and they make life so much easier for a musician, artist, and teacher to get the music out there, create new projects, and send them out into the world. Just go on down here to this link, check out the tablature for Old Billy Hell, and follow the open house tag to see all the other free downloads. Lots and lots of stuff there for you to download. And if you think it's a good idea, please do consider becoming a subscriber of mine for $5 a month. And there's a lot more where this came from. Thanks, everybody. I'm hitting the road in a little bit, but I will see you next week with more Dulcimerica. Until then, everybody, play a little bit every day and love life like a dulcimer loves new strings. That needs to be on a t-shirt.